Welcome everybody to Zeta Global Radio. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in to the show today as we allow, awake, and ignite. All of you who will be joining us here on the beautiful tropical island setting of Pine Island in Southwest Florida. You have three incredible healers, myself included, which is very exciting. I'm going to wear two hats today. But we are going to start this whole incredible hour off talking to the creatress, Esther Miner, who brought this to both Chantel and I and said this is something we need to do, and you get to hear her vision. And really, this coming together is very special because no matter where you are in the world, what we're going to talk about on the show today will give you a snapshot, and we may even do online events where you can participate. But we want you all to have an opportunity to be part of it, to experience the energy, and to get to know these two lovely, amazing women. So why don't we just get right into it? Welcome to the show, Esther Miner. She is an amazing, Esther, your resume of who you are is quite extraordinary. I can go on. You're a Reiki master. You're a life coach. What are you? I was going to name it all, but I thought, you know what? Let's just let you do that. Welcome to the show, Esther Miner.
Thank you for having me. Wow, yeah, the resume is a little long. Anywhere from have a background with criminal justice to all the way to life coaching. But today is really about my biggest passion, and is offering and building retreats where I'm not only participating, but I'm more of the hostess that I do. So my background is really about helping people, guiding people, be it meditation classes, Reiki, coaching, or any form of fashion of taking care of the mind, body, and the spirit.
So it's interesting that you said that your resume is really long. My experience, and I've met many people, both on this show and in real life, which is actually our show is real life, have many different modalities. So when you say your resume is really long, do you find that you became passionate about one and then you learned about the next one and then that lit up? Or how does it work for you in terms of being able to do all these different modalities, which essentially is adding just another tool in your toolbox for healing people?
Yes. How it came about, I think it's really about what I've been through. And each experience that I've had in my life, it always guided me to something else to learn, be it for wanting to learn about something new, to educate myself, or be it to heal myself, or anything that's really, it's based on life experiences that I was able to learn and expand my toolbox, like you called it. So it wasn't really anything else but kind of just following a path with whatever was going on, good, bad, or anything you want to call it. But it's really based on life experiences that I was guided to learn and experience and expand myself with.
Well, I know you off air, professionally and personally, and I didn't know that, and I really resonate with that. And that is actually the basis of Zeta Global Radio, which stemmed as well from a loss several years ago, and I wasn't sure how to cope with it. So when the opportunity for a radio show came up, I brought on, and people know this story who listen to our show, but I brought on sleep experts. I brought on grief experts. I brought on pretty much anybody who can help understand whatever I was going through. And till this day, the topics that interest me, the topics that seem to be in the field of my friends of influence come up, and those are the shows that we do. So life and in business, they say life and fiction are pretty much as clear as day. That's really clear for me that that's important work, that we stem from that experience and allow that to others. Is there a particular modality that lights you up the most? Do they light you up equally? Because you do a lot of different things.
I don't know if I can put it onto one thing, or it's more of a mixture of a little bit of everything. I found that every time I studied something or went to experience something for myself, I always found a bits and pieces of each of them that was very much drawn to me. I was drawn to it, and I find myself creating my own unique way of being with clients or being with people, even when it comes to coaching. It's kind of taking a little bit of pieces here and there from everything I know and curating a unique approach with each person or each group. Because based on my experiences, each person or each group I deal with, they have something completely unique going on that it really requires me to be present and let my intuition guide me to use whatever it is needed to be used.
Beautiful. And have you been practicing in enlightened work your whole life? Was there a moment in time that suddenly kind of, I ask people all the time who are on the show, was there a moment for you that you had a spiritual awakening or you had this shift into all this conscious living? Because some people are born into it and other people, we're all born into it, really, if we incarnate here. But really, is there a moment in time in your life that you can remember where it sort of all clicked in for you?
Yes, and it's funny you ask because I was just thinking about another day, like, how did I get on this path? And it was about 15 years ago when I was introduced to some personal development work here in Lee County, Florida, and that was the first time that I really experienced something on a spiritual level through a angel workshop. And I always had this feeling that is more to life than just we're here, we live, and then we're gone. But I never could put my finger on it, and I didn't grow up in the environment that it was promoted or talked about or even noticed. I grew up in Hungary, so it was it's a big culture shock, too, and a lot of difference. But I remember that angel workshop where I actually had the experience of communicating with my grandfather, who was at that time already gone for a few years. And that's when it really took a turn for me. And it's been 15 years of continuous just expanding and learning and trying new things, and kind of like a huge roller coaster ride it's been for 15 years.
Well, now you're offering all that wisdom that you've amassed, both personally and through education and in your work, and now you're offering it to others in this retreat. Is this the first retreat that is concentrating on all your different modalities? Do you want to just talk a little bit about this? Or also, actually, when you answer that, answer also a little bit about how this came to being. Did this come into meditation, or you were clear? I'm just curious about how this particular retreat came together.
It is the very first retreat, and how it came about is when life hits me, it hits me hard in all kinds of different directions, and a lot of transitions have been going on for me in the last few months. And someone came to me for some advice, and I remember just giving them the advice of, when are you going to stop living other people's vision and start living your vision for your life? And I remember the moment when it came out of my mouth, and I felt like somebody just hit me with a 2x4, thinking, oh my goodness, I'm talking to myself. And from that moment, the universe is amazing to know when we're ready, and it starts clearing things out, even though we don't want to let go of. And that's when it started just a few months ago. And ever since then, I got more and more clear on what I want to do. I got more and more clear on how I want to use my experiences, my gifts, and everything that I gained and expanded into, and the relationships that I have and the connections that I created, because they're absolutely valuable, and there's so many people out there who just wants to share and teach and support other people.
Blessings. That's fantastic. I think what we'll do is take a break, and when we come back, we get to introduce Chantel Fanak and talk more about your Retreat Central's Allow, Awake, and Ignite event happening here in Pine Island, the southwest Florida island, on Saturday, July 28th. From 10 to 6 at Green Planet Farm and Gardens, actually the home where Zeta Global Radio is recorded. We have a 40-acre farm here with lots of spiritual retreats. We're all excited to gather. This is going to be terrific. There's still spots left, and we will take a break and talk more about it. You're listening to Zeta Global Radio. We'll be back in a moment. Hi everyone, Lainie Sevante here. Listen, you are invited to the 2018 Mutual UFO Network Symposium taking place July 27th through 29th in Cherry Hill, New Jersey next month. Titled UFOs, Extraterrestrials, and the Future of Humanity, this symposium is expanding the consciousness of the UFO topic with an entire weekend of knowledge focusing on awakening enlightened attendees to the full possibilities and truths that exist. There'll be multiple film screenings, lectures on science and technologies, and also discussions on transhumanism. Join multiple lectures by speakers, including globally known Travis Walton, who had a direct encounter in 1975, known from his movie Fire in the Sky. 2 free Saturday workshops are available, as well as walk-in student discounts. So to learn more, visit www.mufonsymposium.com. MUFON is MUFON. Welcome back to ZGR, Zeta Global Radio, your spirituality retreat central as well. It's such a pleasure to have this platform for so many conscious events that are out in the world and being of service to humanity, being the service to people who are looking for that sacred wisdom, looking to enlighten themselves, and really are at this point in life knowing that there's something more. Esther mentioned it in the first segment. I've mentioned it many times on here that in this case, listeners here have told me time and time, I knew there was more to my everyday 9-to-5 existence, and I wanted to seek it more, and I found your show. So I'm so glad that you are here and listening to this, and now you get to meet Chantal Phonic. She's a hypnotist, a life coach, a Reiki master. She has a beautiful practice called Renewing Your Soul here in Cape Coral, Florida. She's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Please welcome her to the show.
Thank you, Lainie.
Well, first off, again, these are 2 women I know, and I had the absolute pleasure of being with Chantal as she spoke to nearly 100 city employees at the Cape Coral City Council chambers, no less, this astonishing room, but really for city employees. And let's just talk about that, because we'll segue into there, and I want to even know what that was like, talking about anxiety. Tell us about that a little bit, and then we will segue into some more things.
Well, thank you. It was a really great opportunity. I have known the person who takes care of the wellness chapter of our city, which is a whole nother topic, the fact that our city is starting to turn towards wellness. The fact that I was asked to speak there was really great. So I went in and they asked me to speak on anxiety, and the room was pretty full. As you mentioned, there was nearly 100 people there, and they seemed to be really surprised when I told them that over 40 million Americans suffer from some type of anxiety, which meant that there were approximately 13 people in the room that struggled with it. So I knew that being able to talk to them that day and not pull them out of the crowd and allow them to understand that they weren't alone and really work through that was going to be a great opportunity. And then to just make it super easy. I taught 3 super quick and simple techniques for them to be able to lessen the amount of the anxiety that they were going through. Just acknowledging it is the key, and then reminding them to ask for help. That's so important, no matter what's going on in your life, just to ask for help.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about Renewing Your Soul and all the work that you do there. And the same question, actually, you could just flow right into that I asked Esther, is sort of the background of Chantal and how you came into being the work that you're doing at Renewing Your Soul.
Okay. Well, I will try to keep it as limited as possible in a very Christian background. And with that, I was a youth mentor. I started back in 2000. I was a youth mentor. And that's really where that coaching started to blossom, if you will. And while I was in the church and the youth mentor and eventually the assistant youth pastor, I started realizing that I had these gifts, and I wound up on the healing prayer team at the church. Time has gone on, and I got caught up in corporate America and kind of lost my way away from that. And then in 2012, I became a hypnotist. I went in to be hypnotized to get over something and realized that it was this really awesome modality that I could help other people with. And over time, then I took that hypnotist piece and that mentorship, that coaching piece, and melded them together and became a hypno coach. So it's sort of like a therapy session and utilizing hypnosis as well to help anchor in whatever that change is that those people are looking to create.
So I hear a theme going. We just mentioned that earlier, that all of us were going through something that led us to where we are today doing the work that we so passionately love to do. So if that's any so it would lend itself to say that if anyone is listening to this, what suggestions would you want to give them right now, Chantel, based on the theory that we have just posed?
Well, I would definitely say follow your instinct, follow your passion. You can do both, and I did for quite some time. As you learn and discover where it is that you feel that your soul or your intuition is leading, like Esther was saying, when you learn something, you figure out where that is attainable in your life and how it can lead you in another direction, not just help you, but help other people as well. And you'll continue to dig a little bit more. And sometimes people continue to do both at the same time, and other times people choose to leave one and follow their passion wholeheartedly. Like I left corporate America over a year ago, and I'm following my passion 100% now with Renewing Your Soul, so that I can utilize that to help make a difference in every client that walks through my doors and every retreat that I help in the sessions where I get to allow people to be in their own space to watch that passion grow.
Beautiful. So when we do the retreat next month, I can't believe it's already here, do you want to share a little bit about what you'll be doing? And then we'll get into it in the rest of the show as well, sort of the trifecta of the three of us, but just some of what you're feeling called in this moment to share on that day.
Okay, perfect. So during that session, one of the things that a lot of people really struggle with is fear. And it can be fear of anything. It can be fear of just coming to the retreat and being uncomfortable because you're going to be with some people that you don't know. So Esther brought up what a great opportunity to use the hypnosis to help people get over that fear. So we're actually going to be doing a general fear hypnosis so that you can bring to mind whatever it is that you're struggling with at a fearful basis, and we can help to release that fear from your body. And that's one of the things that I will be working with earlier in the retreat.
Do you want to add anything to that, Esther, while you're here?
Oh, I'm excited about that because I actually want to experience that with Chantel, and I have to agree with her. Fear is so ingrained in people's lives, and a lot of people are not even aware that it's part of their life. Many people that I worked with had no awareness that fear was the actual choice maker for them for a long, long time. And just creating awareness and giving people some opportunities to learn different tools to take care of themselves and really get themselves off that path. For me, it was a huge help when I went through that in different ways. But I agree with Chantal. Fear can be one of the most debilitating, just something that stops you and not even have the awareness of stopping you. So I'm excited about that segment, and I think it will be an amazing way of starting that day out, of just releasing that and just clearing the area for growth and connection and more beauty in everyone's life.
I love it. Chantel, the fear factor, do you believe, or in your professional assessment and work, is fear the underlying root to just about all the anxiety and all is it like really the origin of everything that stems from it? Depression, anxiety, and all the other mental illness and sort of really the chaos that we put in our mindset.
Absolutely, a really high percentage. Fear is ingrained in us from the moment, I feel like, the moment we're born into right now in this moment. And then in addition to that, for those of us that believe that we live many lives, things that have happened to us in our past lives, we bring into this life and we anchor that fear. So, for example, I truly believe that something happened to me in the water. I was attacked by something in a previous life, and I've been told that by other readers. And in this life, nothing's ever happened to me, but I have an irrational fear of sharks. like so much so that one would get me in a pool. So that's something that I actually work with other hypnotists so that I can get over that fear, so that that fear can be not just ingrained in us in this life, but we can carry it over with us from other lives. So being able to release that absolutely will make a huge difference in your life on so many levels.
What's the saying? Fear is false, evidence is real?
False evidence appearing real, absolutely. And the opposite of that is, Esther?
Love. If that's what you were looking for. But for me, the opposite of it is really just being love.
I think you two have done this before.
There, you got to identify the fear first and then move into love. That's just the awareness for me. It's huge for that.
Nice. Okay, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to get more into what this day on this tropical farm island is going to look like for you. And then I get to share a little bit about my input. I'm so glad to join these incredible, brilliant women and all of you who will be attending. You're listening to ZGR. We'll be back in a moment. Conscious businesses. Do you have a powerful prayer, meditation, affirmation, audiobook, or music that you're ready to bring to the global stage? Have you considered taking your enlightened gifts to the next level by recording them professionally so the world can hear your knowledge and wisdom? Enlightened Audio and Sound is your production source for taking your talents and making them and you known all over the planet. Record in a magical setting with the expertise of renowned music engineer, composer, and recording artist Howard Merlin Wulkan. Will not only assist you in developing a concept that can be recorded with top-level commercial quality, but will also assist you in bringing your media asset to market in a variety of mediums, including digitally to iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and thousands of more outlets. To learn more, visit our Facebook page, Enlightened Audio and Sound, about bringing your business and career to new heights. Hi, Lainie Sevante here, and I'd love for you to visit my new Facebook page for my private tarot and oracle session readings called Intuitive Wisdom. That's IN, the number 2, UITIVE, Wisdom. Conscious strategies for manifesting a more harmonious life. Don't we all want to have that? Let's see what's in the cards for you as we look at what needs to be cleared, expanded upon, and evolved. There's a lot to explore when we take a deeper look inside ourselves. So we were talking off air, and I don't know why I always do, but I always say we're talking off air and then I bring it on air. It's sort of my running thing that I seem to be doing. However, I'm talking to Chantel and Esther, and Chantel says, well, how are you going to do your part and interview yourself or something to that? What did you say exactly? I want to get it right, Chantel.
Who's going to interview you?
And I chuckled because I never prepare. I just kind of see what's happening in the moment. A lot of times I'm tuning in to the field and seeing what the questions might be from the listeners. As if I was one of you out there listening, wherever you are in any part of the world, what would you want to know or what would you want to hear? So that is sort of my method. People ask me that all the time. How did you know to ask them that question? And I said, well, I didn't know before I even asked the person. So everything here is very organic. However, this is an amazing opportunity to join these women for this retreat. Usually I'm the one producing it, promoting it, and interviewing the people who are on it. And now I am part of it. And when they asked me to be part of it and learning about their gifts and their wisdom, I realized that one of my main passions, of course, when I'm not doing the radio show, is to do tarot and oracle readings and work with people in overall balancing. And Esther had said she's done a million different, not a million, you've done a handful of very powerful modalities, same with you, Chantel, and same with me. And I find for me, spirit comes through very naturally to work with the elements and work with the deck, the tarot deck I use, which is an element. So I thought that day that I would share a story on the importance of who we are as an elemental being. You hear people say that, but really we are the elements. We are fire, we are water, we are earth, We are air and we are spirit. And so those 5 elements, when they're integrated very beautifully, synergistically, in harmony, in balance, allow us to come into fullness for whatever we're going for. So I'll be talking about that today, or not today. Well, today I am a little bit, but also talking at that retreat and sort of fusing in between the work that these beautiful women are teaching that day to all of you. Any questions that you want to ask me, Esther or Chantel, about that as we go on?
Are you going to be bringing the discussion of the masculine and feminine energy into that? And if so, how will that play into it?
Yes, perfect. That was where I was going next. See, she's so intuitive. So I really was going to talk about that next because so many aspects of the topics that we do on the show is really coming down to the basics. No matter how it's taught, no matter how it shows up in whoever speaks about it and wrote a book about it, to me, it's as basic as doing and being. It's as basic as masculine and feminine. What you're doing and what you're receiving. And again, it's all about the harmony and balance and putting that all into alignment. So I discuss more about that in much more detail and how that fuses with the elements to create this well-rounding piece. And we do, in my work, have areas that show up to need clearing, and sometimes they require more clearing from people who can go and see it from a different perspective, like the work that Esther, the work that Chantel is doing, and other shamans that I work with. So I work holistically, and that is what makes this retreat so exciting, is that the 3 of us are going to be able to work holistically throughout the day while having a lot of fun. I think we have a lot of fun planned too, right? Who wants to talk on what else we're doing? Because I know we got some really fun things planned.
One of the things I'm excited about is that we're not going to just have this hour is going to spend it on this, like meditating everybody, but the way we set it up is we're going to give a couple of choices, and I personally love choices, so that it doesn't feel like that you're made to do something that you might not called to, but people will have an opportunity to. Maybe I'm teaching, I'm going to be having an hour segment of meditation, and if someone doesn't feel like it resonates with that, then they're going to have a chance to go with either one of you and you guys can talk more about that, what you're going to offer personally, to work with you guys individually on different aspects. So I'm excited about that, and also about the journaling part. The individual, have your sacred space, find your own space at this beautiful, beautiful, it's nothing but 40 acres of nature and love and serenity, to find your own place out there and just journal. And I'm not going to give away all the goodies, but there's going to be different things we're going to practice with journaling. So it's not just going to be you're going to go and write something down, but I will be bringing some processes that everybody can practice on their own unique way and make it their own unique process and be able to take it home. And that is my biggest vision in this, is for people to experience new and unique ways of taking care of yourself and able to take it home to implement it in your own personal life. So you're not hung up on, but I don't know how.
Bingo, like ding, 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 ding. That is so powerful, so important for someone who's facilitated retreats for many, many years, for someone who's been to many retreats. The integration or the reintegration process of coming out of sacred space and going back and being able to work the tools that you've just learned and been given is, to me, just like you said, absolutely an essential part of having a very successful retreat. So you're left with what to do next after the shamans, the healers, the teachers, the practitioners have kind of left your space. So I really want to acknowledge you that you mentioned that as a passionate piece for you too. Chantel, what more can you add to this in terms of what's happening that day, fun or otherwise, or any other little pieces that you want to share in terms of the full day retreat?
I think the whole day is going to be fun and amazing, but we definitely will be in some meditative states and the opportunity to walk around and be with nature and the journaling like Esther had talked about. I'm really excited that Lainie may not toot her own horn, but she's planning on playing the crystal bowls while we're there, and what amazing music will come from that to help with our meditative journey. But one of the things that I'm going to be bringing is my Reiki practitioner. So if you choose not to be involved in a segment that is on the schedule, you can choose to be with the practitioner that isn't teaching the segment. And one of the things I'll be bringing to the table is my Reiki table. So I'll be using Reiki to change that vibrational energy inside of your body to a higher level and a more balanced level so that we can get your chakras in alignment and just really finding that returning peace and harmony inside of you so that you can take that balance home with you with this reminded inner peace that you get to find while you're there that weekend and take home with you.
I love that. We recently have put some benches all around the pond. We can't even call it a pond, a beautiful, stunning lake. And it's sitting right near the mango trees. And it's just been a really wonderful refuge. I was just sitting out there with our good pal Gwen from Spiritual Communities Network, just chatting and taking in the energy. And I'm just really excited to have everybody come next month. And then, of course, Gwen will have her retreat here on 11/11. So it's sacred land. It's sacred space. It's been blessed by shamans who've been here and who've worked on the land for their retreats recently. We had Teresina and Martin Backens. They've been here twice now. It's a really beautiful place, particularly to get back to nature, which so many of us, I think, don't spend enough time doing. I mean, when's the last time, I'll just even ask the two of you, when's the last time you just took your feet and planted them in the ground, whether it's dirt, grass, soil, and just allowed, the mother earth to allow those energies to come up? It's just, I find people are living in a concrete jungle the majority of the time and do not take that moment to connect to nature. And that's what you're going to do here. Any thoughts on that, ladies, before we take another break?
Well, for me, the last time I just kind of got in my car and drove up to Georgia for a weekend because I really was just called, and I was literally suffering inside. I felt like that I needed to be around nature. And, I asked myself, well, I can drive about an hour to go to the beach, or I can give myself permission to just be spontaneous, get on the road, find an Airbnb in the middle of a 12-acre land somewhere. And that's pretty much what I did. So that's been a few months.
Wow.
And I think that was a turning point when this whole retreat vision really started to become reality and more clear. So that was a few months ago for me that I really, really did something that spontaneous and just really be in nature.
Beautiful. How about you, Chantel?
I definitely spent some time in nature in April. I went up to northern Florida with the natural springs where they are 72 beautiful, clear water all year round, and just walked around the properties and got in the water and just really felt really good and really connected. That was pretty amazing.
Nice. All right. We're going to let our wonderful sponsors have a moment of airtime too. When we come back, we'll just give you some more details and hope you'll join us.
Spiritual Communities Network, where we honor the uniqueness in our oneness. Visit our website to meet our vast spiritual community of healers, therapists, conscious events, and activities. Visit and check out our directory, upcoming retreats, workshops, products, free videos, and much more. Many services are available globally by phone, Skype, and other sources of media. You'll also find more information on how you can be a member to promote the work you're doing in the world. Visit us now at spiritualcommunitiesnetwork.com.
Trice Massage Therapy and Skincare is Southwest Florida's premier holistic and wellness spa to relax and rejuvenate your well-being. Founded by Lucille Trice, this enlightened haven located in Cape Coral offers a variety of massage therapies including Swedish, deep tissue, and trigger point massage. Trice offers detoxifying body wraps and facials using natural organic ingredients to pamper your skin and restore balance and health. Visit their Trice Massage Therapy and Skincare Facebook page or call 239-672-0526 and book your experience today. Mention ZGR and receive a complimentary ionic foot detox experience. I warmly invite you to join me, as well as Esther Miner, who's an intuitive medium, Reiki therapist, and meditation guide, along with Chantel Fanak, who is a hypnotist, life coach, and Reiki master, for a day of celebration. And that celebration is of you. We invite you to let go, relax, and find a sense of self within. You are invited to join us for a full day of enlightened experiences to remind you of the peace, harmony, and freedom that you already have. You'll be inspired and excited in renewed belief systems as you engage in meditation, Reiki, hypnosis, tarot, music, nature, community, and sacred wisdom. Space is limited, and we invite you to register now by going to soulwarrior44.com. Your renewed you awaits. So who is ready to allow, awake, and ignite? I know I am. Allowing is my favorite word recently, and I've been going back to a lot of Esther Hicks' works and really getting into the understanding of allowing flow, allowing joy, allowing love, allowing abundance, allowing health, everything. So we want to allow it, we want to ignite it, and we want to wake up to the fact that it's actually right here. I think so many people forget what they have right in front of them, and that gratitude and appreciation piece is so huge. And this retreat is just the tip of the iceberg, because as you were saying in the first segment, Esther, this is just your vision. This is your beginning vision. Do you want to just touch on that one more time?
Absolutely. Like I said, this is just the first step, and there is so much more, and the vision is exploding. It's every time I talk to more people, every time there's just things unfolding itself, the vision is getting bigger and bigger, to the point where I already picked out the dates from the month of October of 2018 till I believe it's still April of 2019. So we'll have about 6 or 7 other single-day retreats planned throughout the season down here. And as well, we have some talks about creating couples retreats, and not local, but giving people the opportunity to not only travel, but to have different retreat ideas and opportunities outside of Lee County, as well as outside of Florida. So that's the biggest vision, is to create multiple retreats in multiple locations all over the country. As a matter of fact, my vision is kind of all over the world.
Nice. I love that. Okay, well, starting with this one, what's the best way for people to register, and just give everybody the details, Chantel and Esther, what you know about this, what we can share, and of course we'll have all the details listed on Zeta Global Radio's Facebook page without question.
Well, registration can be done through Facebook. Anybody can visit our page, which is called Your Retreat Central. And on there, the event page is available under Celebrate the Inner You. All the registration links and everything and contact information, you can find it there. Or anybody can contact me personally, either via Facebook or through my phone. You can call me anytime on my cell, which is the number is 239-878-3659. Or there is another website that people can go to, which is soulwarrior44.com. And the registration can be done through there also.
What does the 4-4 mean for you?
It is 4 was introduced to me 15 years ago when I started personal growth as a sign of love. And then I went to a seminar after that, and somebody explained to me why. It's really the heart has 4 chambers. And each chamber has a meaning, which I'm not going to recite right now, but it really resonated with me. So I always use 4s as a sign of and a symbolism of love for me. And when I double it up, that means there's a lot of love going on there.
Without a doubt, that's Merlin's favorite number, and when that number comes up in readings, I just always have to smile. It's sort of, for me, the happily ever after, because that 4 is really stabilization and foundation of whatever you're going for, depending on what the sign is. And so 4 of earth or 4 of stones is like you're creating, you're manifesting, you're grounding. It's almost like a table. You need 4 legs so it doesn't wobble. You need structure. So 4 is really big in our lives, and I love when I see it come up in a tarot reading. So when I saw that, I smiled and said, Howard, did you see that? What number she used? So we're with you on the 4 side. Yay! And we're 4 minutes in. So Chantel, any last piece you want to share on the retreat that we can add to it? You mentioned early bird pricing, or did you? We did that maybe off air, so maybe let's mention that.
Yeah. So the registration for the retreat is $225. But if you register earlier, before July 1st, you get early registration price of $199. So you do get a little bit of a break there. And in my opinion, every dollar that we can save is, something that we can use for something else wonderful and fantastic. So get yourself registered early so that you can save the extra money. And then again, just to go over, it's going to be out on Pine Island, actually in Bokeelia at Green Planet Farm and Gardens, which the only word that I can ever use to describe that place, and it even doesn't even fully encompass it, is profound. So many profound experiences have happened out there that I've witnessed alone, and then the stories that I've heard. So even if if you're not interested in the retreat, you just really want to be on the property.
That is great. I always really receive of when you just think you know everything, that you get to learn one more thing. I love continuous aha moments, or to see different people's perspectives. And actually, you brought it up earlier, Esther, when you were talking about fear, and you couldn't wait to experience the work that Chantel will be doing about fear. And I had that experience as well recently when we worked together of, wow, just when you think you got something, you get to uncover another layer. And I think that's what's neat about having so many friends and sisters and associates, that we can all learn from one another. And now impart all those gifts as a collective is just the bonus. So I'm very, very excited about this weekend. Very, very excited to welcome people to the land. And if you are coming from far away, we welcome you. If you are local, we welcome you. And we look forward to, whether you come to this one or another one that Esther puts together, that you be part of this energy. And we thank you here for being part of the energy today and for listening to Zeta Global Radio. Thank you so much. We wish you a blessed week. We have so many great shows coming up over the next couple of weeks. Can't wait to share them all with you. If you're a subscriber to our YouTube channel, you'll get to be notified as soon as a new show is up, as well as our newsletter that gives you some sneak peeks into the following month's show. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you, Esther. Blessings to you both. Stay on the line as we say goodbye to everybody else, but I just want to thank you again for both being here and sharing your energy and talent all the time like you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
All right, everyone. Take care.